Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am Tiara and I am a first year at Spelman College, and I am here to tell you all the things that I wish I knew before going to Spelman. So like I said, I am a first year political science Spanish minor on the pre-law track from Washington DC. I just did my Spelman intro or whatever. But anyway, that's my major. I'm a first year, so class of 2026. In this video, I'm just gonna talk about I'm gonna get into why I chose Spelman in the first place. Basically what stood out about Spelman to me from other HBCUs specifically, and then I broke it down into 4 categories on the things I wish I knew. So basically, the first thing, academic, and Spelman being a liberal arts college wise. What else? Personal life, adapting to navigating personal and social life in a new environment, and the AUC in general. Atlanta, and then a big thing about Spelman is financial aid. So I'm gonna also get into how I paid for Spelman and my experiences with the financial aid department at Spelman, the scholarship coordinator, and all of that. Getting into why I chose Spelman. So Spelman has been on my radar. Well, I have been on Spelman's radar. What is it? What's the right way to phrase that? I have been on Spelman's radar. They have been on my radar. They have been on my radar, yeah. Spelman has been on my radar since middle school. I had a mentor that went to Spelman, and when you connect with someone, you can literally just tell genuine people that are meant to be successful. She was even from a young age, she reminded me of everything I wanted to be, and a woman, and how I see myself in the future. So when she told me she went to Spelman, I went to middle school. You just had different cohorts and classes, and they were named after different colleges and stuff. So I already knew what college was. I already knew from a very young age that I wanted to go to college. So during middle school, I started researching different colleges, and I had Black teachers, so I knew what HBCU was, what different sororities and fraternities were. So I kind of already had my mindset on the fact that I wanted to attend a historical Black college. So yeah, I looked up Spelman, and yeah, she made me just understand that Spelman might have been the place for me. Moving on to junior year was the time when I really started researching colleges. And if you were to ask me junior to senior year, I would have said NCAT due to financial reasons, as well as the culture of NCAT. I had family that went to North Carolina A&T, and I had family that went there, taught there, and my family is from North Carolina. And if you know anything about major North Carolina schools, many people from North Carolina usually attend those schools. And so yeah, junior, senior year, when I first started applying to colleges, I originally got deferred from Spelman in December, so I had to wait till I think April is when regular decisions came out. So I had to wait till April to see if I got in, and I also was waitlisted from NCAT. So I got basically waitlisted from 2 of my major schools. So I was kind of really depressed during that period, December through January. So once I got unwaitlisted from NCAT in January, I already started looking into FAMU. They had accepted me, and I also had got a full ride there through a different organization through the public school system that I was in. So if you were to ask me during that time, I was saying FAMU, but then I was I kind of NCAT more due to me just being familiar with North Carolina, and me being more comfortable with the area of North Carolina, and I already knew people that went to NCAT, and my family, like I said, my family went to NCAT, major alumni in my family, so it kind of was a rite of passage for me to go there. So then I officially heard back from Spelman, what is that, March, April, late March, maybe April, whenever regular decisions came out, that I got in, and I was very happy. So then Spelman became, well, I'm not gonna say my number one again, but it was tied with NCAT. So right now in April, it was between NCAT and Spelman. So I knew from there I had to continue to research more about the schools, and I set up a college tours for both because, excuse me, I set up a college tour for both schools because I realized, in my opinion, please visit the school. Don't go to a school without visiting the campus. Literally, I feel like, I'm not gonna say that's dumb, but please don't do that, because I feel like the campus life tells you everything you need to know about whether you want to attend a university or not. So I went to Spellbound. If you don't know what Spellbound is, it's like a 2-day, 3-day event for admitted students where they get to be on campus, campus tours. It's like a mock class. You get to see like the kind of classes, you get to talk to like financial aid, all the different people. So once I got to Spellbound in April, immediately when I stepped foot on Spelman's campus, I was like, yeah, this is the school for me. And I went to NCAT the very next day, and I loved NCAT campus, but it was a little bigger than Spelman's campus, and I kind of felt overwhelmed by that in a way, and I didn't feel like a sense of community for me personally there. But yeah, I just felt more community with Spelman. Getting into, I'm gonna start with let me see how I divided this, like I told y'all. So I divided it in 2 sections, like I said, well, 4 major things. So I'm gonna talk about the academic aspect of Spelman first, because it's gonna be like the shortest part I talk about, and in my next video, if like people still like want to know more about the academics or have any more questions, I'm also going to do like a Q&A Spelman based on my Instagram. So just follow me and I'll answer questions regarding that. So anyway, Spelman is a liberal arts institution, and I did not know what a liberal arts institution was. I just thought it was like some fancy name for like they really like specialize in the arts and like humanities and stuff, and I had no issue with that because I went to a humanities based high school. So I was like, okay, that's cool. I didn't know what liberal arts meant. That's what I just assumed. But when I finally got here and I talked to like my academic advisor, I looked at the course outline, and it was kind of different than a lot of colleges. So Spelman really puts an emphasis on you exploring different things outside of your major. So they have many different core requirements that you need to do that does not have anything to do with your major in order to graduate and before you can graduate. So right now, as a freshman, my first year, like I said, I'm a political science major. My first year, I haven't taken any political science major classes. Sophomore year, I'm going to do that. But first semester, I took science, Spanish. I didn't take math yet. Science, Spanish. Oh, you have to take FYE. That's your first year. Like a lot of college, majority of colleges have it on like a freshman orientation. I took that. Spelman also has this unique course that other colleges doesn't offer, which is ADW, African Diaspora in the World, which is a really cool course. Why she just do that? They be listening. Anyway, they have African Diaspora in the World where you can examine just the African diaspora. I'm not going to get in depth with it, but it's a major curriculum at Spelman, and it's a very interesting class. So I took ADW. I feel like I'm missing a class. I think I'm definitely missing a class. I'm missing a class, but yeah. In this semester, I'm taking computing, principles of computing. That's a requirement. Spanish again, because I have to take 4 semesters, and that's also my minor, so I didn't mind that. Spanish. Oh, Math 107, which is basically contemporary mathematics. ADW again, and FYE. So, but outside of those core requirements, all of those that I listed are core requirements in order to graduate. Like I said, yeah, so even if you're not a political science major, you're required to take math. Oh, I also took English. That's what you're required to take English. A lot of colleges have that, but they also, sophomore year, you have to take something called Brave in Leadership, which I think is like a career prep program. SYE, sophomore year experience. as well as you have to take 4 other requirements, which is women's/international studies course. Have to take a course in one of those disciplines, a fine arts course, music, math, no, my bad, music, art class, theater, dance, one of those. Have to take a wellness course. We offer different like physical fitness courses, yoga, swimming, kickboxing. Those are very hard to get into, so you might only take that your junior year or whenever you get the chance. I'm missing something. Humanities, history, philosophy, just a lot of core requirements, and you have to take a lot of like electives outside of your major, which is where you kind of basically have to basically just declare a minor at that point in order to graduate. So it's definitely unique in that aspect. So if you just want to go to college and just focus on your discipline, I don't think academically Spelman is for you, because they definitely put an emphasis into exploring different areas. Next, I'm going to talk about Atlanta, the location, and I'm going to get a little into housing. I didn't plan on talking a lot about housing in this video, but I guess I can talk about housing. And when I do get back this semester, I will give like a little dorm tour once I finish everything up, because I leave on Monday. So location, Spelman College is in Atlanta, Georgia, which is a very popular up-and-coming city. When I first arrived, I did not like the location. Well, I still don't like the location where Spelman is at, I'll be completely honest. But Spelman is located in the hood. It's no way of getting around it. It's in the hood. It's in the ghetto. I'm used to the ghetto. I'm used to the hood. I didn't grow up in the hood. I didn't grow up in the ghetto. But I'm from DC, so I'm not like bougie when it comes to things like that. However, I wasn't expecting for like that part, due to the fact that when I watch a lot of influencers and a lot of YouTubers, and you know, I see them in Atlanta, and I don't see what I see when I walk outside of Spelman gates. So there's that, and it's like really nothing to do around the neighborhood. It's a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot of gun violence, because I don't think it's worse than where I'm from in the way. So I don't think it's worse than where I'm from. I'm not going to say I'm used to gun violence, because I don't think anybody should be used to gun violence, but in a way I'm used to gun violence. So that was nothing that deterred me. I think safety is a major thing. I do personally feel safe on Spelman's campus. The guards do not let you in without an ID. They literally could see you walk out and be like, where's your ID? Like 2 minutes later. So I definitely feel safe. The other campuses in the AUC are a little less lenient. I do feel safe on Morehouse campus. Clark campus is a different setup, because you literally, outsiders can drive through like the campus, because it's like a street in between the campus. So that caused like a lot of confusion. There actually was a shooting on like it's called the Promenade, a major place where a lot of students hang out. Thankfully, nobody got killed, but I do believe like people did get, I think 2 people got shot, which is very scary. And I don't think anybody like that sends their kid to college, or anybody that goes to college, should experience something like that. So I think the AUC in general does need to step up with security things. And that was also something I seen while researching. So I kind of wish I knew more about, I kind of wish when I did visit, I explored the entire AUC. I literally was just on Spelman campus for Spelman. So that's one thing I wish I knew more about, just like the AUC in general. Getting into housing, because that's a major thing. As y'all know, Spelman has had a housing crisis and a housing problem. I think when was it? Last year they were protesting. Yeah, but they were protesting, and I am on the biggest, what is it? I'm sorry. I live in the biggest freshman dorm, which is Howard Harold Hall. Yeah, one of the best dorms on campus. Totally recommend. This year there were 4, or are there usually 3? No, they're usually 4. So this year's freshmen stayed in Morehouse James. They usually stay in Abbey, so Morehouse James became the new Abbey, I guess, in a way, but it didn't at the same time. But yeah, there's Howard Harold Hall, Manly, and LOC1. LOC1, LOC1 is the only dorm with air. So there's that. HH and Manly is right across from the CAF. LOC1 is like further up the campus, so it's kind of away from everything. Morehouse James is in the Oval, where all the major academic buildings are. So that's so it's not too far. I think it's a good location. But if you want to be closer to everything, like if you want to be quick and grab your food like to the cab, I recommend HH or Manning. But that's just me. Okay, getting into financial aid, which is a major thing about Spelman. I'm gonna go semi into depth about financial aid. One of the reasons I almost didn't go to Spelman was because of financial aid. I just could not afford it at first. Prior to applying to Spelman, I had got I had already received one scholarship, so I applied to like a lot of scholarships through nonprofits. Siri is listening to me, y'all. So I had applied to a lot of scholarships through nonprofit, and I had already received one. And during my senior year, I was applying to other scholarships, but I haven't heard back yet. So it was all in the waiting game. By April, I had heard back for majority of my scholarships, and it looked like in order for me to go to Spelman, I had to take out at least $15,000, around $15K in loans each year. So, and if I went to NCAT, I would have had it all covered, as well as like my full ride at FAMU. So for me, Spelman was just something that I really wanted, somewhere I really wanted to go, and something I really had my eyes like set on. And like I realized that I felt like if I go here, it's worth it. Like I'll pay it back. Like I felt like Spelman was worth taking out 15K loans. Thankfully, I did not have to do that. I had got a scholarship from an organization. I had got a call and said I got a scholarship from an organization, and they were able to cover basically all the rest of my tuition. So I am on Spelman basically with a full ride due to outside scholarships. Spelman is not paying me anything. Spelman is not paying me a dime. Spelman is not going to pay you a dime. Spelman is not going to pay you any money. Spelman is not going to accommodate you. I went to Spelman, and this financial aid lady, she was sweet as gold. I'm not going to lie. She was really nice. I do not remember her name. But she literally my mom sat right next to me. My mom right here. I'm right here. You're the financial aid lady. She literally sat there and told me, well, she basically, EFC of 0. Not going to lie, EFC of 0. She sat there in my face. She sat there, mom right here, me right here, she right there. She said, well, I'm sorry, some people just can't go here. Like, some people just can't make that heard. And I'm just looking like, okay. But she did say, like, maybe you can get a scholarship. I'll look into it. They give, their scholarships start at, like, 4.0. And even then, I know, like, 3 friends that had that, and they didn't give them money. So it's like, okay. And I got into Spelman with a 3.8. So I was like, what can you do then? So thankfully, I had outside scholarships. Spelman gives a certain amount of scholarships to like their higher achievers. And like I said, those basically start, not even a 4.0, the 4.2, I'm going to be like completely honest with you. You have to have like a, above average GPA in order to get to Spelman. So keep that in mind. If like that's something you really want to do, you have to really treat like applying to outside scholarships as a job. Getting to my last point of this video, my personal life at Spelman, things I wish I knew more about how to make friends, adjust to life as like a new college student. Something that they don't tell you is like the nostalgia you feel while being in college as someone who just graduated like 3 months ago. I remember being on campus like my first couple of weeks of class and just having like flashbacks of me in high school, and I'm like, I really can't believe I'm here. and that's just going to be something that you experience. I was telling someone the other day, I don't think you can fully prepare people for a transition to college. You can just only really be supportive. Like, of course, you can prepare people academically, but you can't really prepare them emotionally for that. So that's just always something to keep in mind. Personally, I'm out of state, so that was a major thing for me. I never realized like how hard it was for me to be out of state, especially being out of state and not accessible like quickly by a car. It's a 10-hour drive from DC to Atlanta, so that's a lot. And then just having to take a plane ride every time you go home kind of gets annoying. So just kind of think about like, hey, do you want to go somewhere where you have to take a plane ride every time for break? Because at first I didn't realize it would be something that would get on my nerve. But it's definitely getting on my nerve now. Just packing up every time I'm going through TSA, catching Ubers to the airport. Like, it's very, what is the word? Strenuous? It's very much that. And it gets annoying after a while, especially when you're just like not traveling to a vacation. It gets irritating. But yeah, I wish I knew more about like wherever I was a person that was good at going through the airport, because like I traveled, but like I've traveled more in 1 year by plane than I had like my entire life, and like I vacation a lot, but that was just a lot for me. So always think about that, like yeah, you might want to go to school out of state, but do you think you'll be able to handle going to school out of state? Like, financially, it's a lot to buy a plane ticket. Like, is your family going to be able to afford a plane ticket when everyone else has to leave? So is that. Get into like the personal aspect of Spelman, more into like friends, love life, things like that. It's not going to be hard to find a friend or a boyfriend. I would recommend, I'm not going to get into my love life. I think of the Morehouse boys as like my friends. That's all I see in them right now. They're not my cup of tea. I personally like Georgia State boys, but that's just me. So I like Georgia State boys, but that's just me. Like, all my friends talk to Morehouse boys. I feel like I'm the only one that's been talking to Georgia State boys. So yeah, you'll definitely find like people to talk to. Everyone's on campus is so friendly. It's easy to make friends. I wish I learned more about like not getting out my shell and just talking to people more, because you'll definitely make friends once you like join clubs, go to parties, all of that. You'll definitely make friends and have the best time. So you're not gonna have trouble making friends. You're not gonna, what is the word? Yeah, like if you're worried about like your love life, like how I'm gonna find a boyfriend, which is something you shouldn't be worried about if you're choosing college, first of all. But if like that's the reason, because you think, oh, Spelman is like an all-girls school, it's not gonna stop you from finding a boyfriend or a sneaky link or whatever you're trying to find in college. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna stop you. Anything else? Oh, more about my personal life. Oh, also, I think I also wish I knew more about understanding that this is a major thing. Spelman is a legacy school. I want to debunk the myth that all the girls here are snobby. All the girls here are not. 95% of the girls here are not snobby at all. A lot of these girls are actually I want to put this in the best way possible, because I will never down my sister. Do come from money and do come from higher middle class families, so their experiences do not match my experiences, because I understand certain things about a different part of Black culture than a lot of them do. Like, I understand seeing people in poverty. I understand like the hood, even though I'm not from the hood. Like, I'm from DC. Like, I understand certain things that a lot of these girls just were sheltered away from, and that's okay. So a lot of them are not used to like the Atlanta area, specifically like this part that we're in. So it's just that, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. I wish I understood that a lot of these girls were coming from money and a lot of these girls were legacy, because I'm a first-gen student. I am not a legacy. Hopefully my kids will go to Spelman and be a legacy, but that's that. So just know that if you're not a Jack and Jill kid, or if you're not upper middle class, if you're not rich, Spelman is still a place for you. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't think otherwise, because I definitely found my place in Spelman. Not all the girls here are snobby. Not all the girls here are spoiled rich brats. Because that's definitely not my persona. That's definitely not the girls I hang around persona, and that's definitely not the people that I haven't met persona. So I just wanted to debunk that. But you definitely will find a lot of Jack and Jill girls. You're definitely their experiences will definitely be different than your experiences, and I think that's been the overall most eye-opening thing about Spelman for me. So yeah, so that's all I really wanted to talk about when it comes to Spelman. Please feel free to follow me on my Instagram at @TierMonet if you have like any questions. I post a lot on like during the semester, but I also like love people who DM me and ask me questions about Spelman, because I will brag about my school all day. I have no problem talking about my school. Literally, if you have any questions, you can always DM me, and I always like post about Spelman. I also have like a little highlight in my Instagram bio full of everything Spelman. So that's all I have for this video. If you want to learn more about Spelman, just look up more YouTube videos like I did. Don't be afraid to reach out to different people. And my friend also just uploaded a video, Tamar Lucas. She just uploaded a video regarding like things she learned while being at Spelman. So definitely check that out, because like I said, everyone's experiences is different. So kind of full-heartedly looking up and researching videos to help you get a better understanding is helpful. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Also comment down below if you would like a part 2 of this, like a Q&A version, so I could specifically ask specifically answer any questions like that people have, because I definitely think that it's important to like know as much as you can about a school before you go to it. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.